Mic check. What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of TheDropPodcast. Whoops. All right, excuse me. TheDropPodcast. This is the podcast where we play games and hang out. I think I forgot to look into what I'm supposed to do last time. That's actually good because I also forgot to set a timer for the episode. So today is New Year's Eve for me. Now for you guys it'll be a little bit after. But today for me it is New Year's Eve. And man, shoot. And I gotta say, like, I'm sad to see 2020 leave. It was probably my favorite year in my life. And I say that every single year, so it's good because it always gets better, but at the same time, it's just sad to see it go. But I've done a lot of good things today. I told you guys about how I'm painting Sumie. Well, I painted one today and it turned out so good. I think it's one of my favorites for sure. It looks like just like a bunch of bamboo and water. And then some like leaves or whatever, some foliage or foliage, some stuff that just like pokes out, but it looks really good. And then I also finished hold on, Chrono Trigger Masamune. I also finished the Full Metal Alchemist, the anime Full Metal Alchemist. Fortified with magic, hidden magic cave, Fiona's villa, 681. Head through the magic cave, fighting monsters as you're avoiding them. Take note, so just a little bat following you. You'll exit the cave on the right. Alright. Magic cave, got it. What was I saying? Oh yeah, finished the Full Metal Alchemist, which is so good. Oh my gosh, it's incredible. It's like, you know, whenever I was talking about Shiki, that anime and how it kind of dives into psychology and how I love it. Well, it's like, this is like directly straight up, like no doubt about it, it is, you know. And you know, the reason why I especially know that is because, I mean, just like the whole concept of like alchemy and the exchange, equivalent exchange, and like it's very scientific, and then at the same time it's like the characters have like a representation, like the main enemy has like spawns of him, which is like the 7 deadly sins, so it's like envy and pride and whatever, and so you kind of get to dive into that and sort of like how they are represented. And then even at that, it's like it dives into like just like humans and who we are, you know, and you know, just cool stuff like that, you know. And it means, it has a lot of meaning to it. And it's just very like very beautiful and very well put together. Honestly, I gotta say it's probably the best anime I think I've ever seen in my life. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. But then after that, I'm gonna watch Violet Evergarden, which I heard is really good. But I'm trying to find more, because once I finish that, then I have to figure out what I'm gonna watch after. Because this one's only 12 episodes, and dude, I consume anime like nothing. Like, I'll do 12 episodes in a day. Like at night before I go to bed, I start watching at like 9, finish at like 10:30. So it's like, well, 10:20, I guess. Sometimes push it to 11. But that's, let's see, an hour and 30 minutes ish of anime, which is, let's see, if each episode is like 20 minutes, then that's see, 20, see, hour 60, so it'd be 3. I guess it's like 4 episodes. I guess it's not. I mean, still that's a lot. Wait, 20, 40. See, yeah. Still that's a lot. And like I said, sometimes I'll do 2 hours, so I guess that's 6 episodes. It's usually about like 4 to 6. But so that's a lot of anime to be watching. You know what I mean? But I'm just like obsessed. Like I don't know why, but I'm just like it's a beautiful kind of art form, and also like I'm interested in like the culture of Japan. So it's like cool because I feel like sometimes I get to see like the inside. Like probably the anime that I watched that had like the biggest inside of like Japanese culture was what is that anime called? The Good Luck Girl, which is about this girl who is born with like an abnormal amount of good luck, and then and so the god of bad luck comes to her, and so there's just like a lot of comedy, and they make fun of a lot of other anime in there. It's pretty cool. It's funny and it's just creative, and that was a good anime. But after watching that, I need something more serious, because I forgot what I watched before that, but I don't think it was that serious either. Or maybe it was Shiki before that. Maybe it was Shiki and then Good Luck Girl, which both were pretty cool. Shiki like dived into like psychology and like Resent, where I think Full Metal Alchemist dived into like the struggle of humanity and like really deep questions, like I don't know, maybe it wasn't. It was like, I don't know. I want to, because I remember while watching it, I was thinking of these things, and so kind of what I want to do, like kind of how Jordan Peterson took the Bible and like dived into like the stories. I think I want to kind of do the same with this anime, maybe. But I don't know if I want to rewatch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, because that was like one, I get obsessive. Like, dude, I was so into it. And then at the same time, it's like, I don't know, but maybe I'll just do like one episode a week or something, or maybe just figure out like big major points of the stories, or maybe just dive into like characters and kind of what the characters represent. That way I have kind of like a direction of where things are going, you know. So it's more like focused on some specific focus, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I got this new tea for Christmas, and it's like it stews as I drink it, so it's cool. Another thing I've been thinking about, like right now I'm just doing like household chores. I do have a topic that I kind of want to touch on, but I just want to tell you guys about some stuff real quick. So I should probably, or else they'll kill me. I do have some topics that I do want to talk about, though. Oh my gosh, this tea is so good. Oh, so good. Okay, so I might do like a series on Full Metal Alchemist, just to kind of dive into the depth of what's there. Maybe, I don't know. Cause like I said, I don't know if I want to rewatch like the whole thing, but it was good. It was some incredible anime, and I remember I watched the original Full Metal Alchemist, like way back whenever I was like younger, and then play toss. Okay, let's do slurp cut. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I do with that. But another thing that I definitely want to work on, because I noticed that this is like one thing that I think I struggle with. So I listened to Joe Rogan's podcast on what was it? His podcast with Matthew McConaughey. And one thing that like I was just so like inspired by, be that magic you use, I have heard only magicians wield it now. Travel to the end of time when you make gains. Alright, let's go do that real quick. I don't need to use that. So, as I was saying though, I was listening to Matthew McConaughey and Joe Rogan's podcast, and in the way that Matthew McConaughey talks is just so captivating. Like, he just says things in a certain way and with like a certain pattern. And one thing he said, like the reason why he does he has like very catchy things, and he also uses like a lot of sayings. I think like he'll just be saying whatever, and then I don't know. I'm trying to think of something catchy. Like then he'll say like, oh, like that's a dime or something like that. But he'll say it like interesting too. Like he'll say that's a dime. Like I don't know. Like so the way like it just sounds very purposeful. Like he'll stretch out certain words and then leave other words kind of slowed or just relaxed or at a certain, I don't know, like you'll know what I'm saying if you ever hear him. I think he did a college speech. He had a really good episode with that. Excuse me. Cool, man. Oh, like whenever he says "cool man," he'll say "cool man," and I think he's also from like Tennessee or something like that. So he also has like a wise sounding country accent. So it's, I don't know, man, but it's cool. And I want to try. I think one thing that I want to do though, is study his voice, because I want to start practicing speeches. On my own, and then like recording them to YouTube. So I want to do a speech on creativity and ideas, which is what I want to actually talk about today. But so I want to do a speech on creativity and ideas, and part of like how I plan on like studying for that is because I respect the way that he sounds. Like I like the way that he sounds, and so I want to take notes on his techniques of just pulling you into the story, and his comfortability, and also the rhythm of his story, because that's one thing he's really good at. He has very good cadence with his with the way that he talks. And yeah, so I want to go into that, research that, and figure out what it is. What exactly does what's his name? What exactly does he do that's so captivating? Hold on. So anyway, frogs fortified. History. Okay. That's cool. What else? He says that part of the reason he thinks as to why he's so interesting, or like just in the way that he talks. Because Joe Rogan told him, he says, you have what I call whiskey wisdom. Like, he says, whenever I go to a bar and I listen, there's like this old guy with wrinkly skin talking about talking to me about some kind of, I don't know. Well, just whenever he listens to him, he expects him to say something cool, like takes a shot of the whiskey and then says some cool shit that just like makes you, and his theory was like why he thinks that Joe Rogan sees that in him is because attack, switch triple raid, delta attack. I feel like max cyclone rocket roll is because whenever what's his name? I just said it just a second ago. Matthew McConaughey. Whenever Matthew McConaughey looks at life, he's always trying to break it down. So an example being Matthew McConaughey, like he would look at this conversation and try to think, what would be the title of this conversation? So like if we were to, have like a name for this conversation that we're having, what would that be? And then if we had a series of conversations, what would the album be called? Like just cool stuff like that. And so that with that focus in mind, I think it encourages him to dive into these short things that make sense, right? So like just short, simple statements that hit hard, It's very wise, very, very smart. The juggler in Magus' castle strengthens his guard when attacked. Okay. But that's interesting though, isn't it? I like cool things like that, and I think it's true. Like I don't think long form is bad. I think like Joe Rogan, for example, has long hour conversations and it's interesting to listen to. I find my podcast entertaining. Like I like to listen to my own podcast just to take notes on the things that I say, make sure that everything I'm saying is good and has a nice flow to it. I practice, I work on it. Actually, I haven't done that in a while. I've been bad about that, but I'm pretty confident, right now about my podcast episodes. I think I've been doing like a really good job staying like kind of focused and on some sort of point, I like my podcast. That's weird. I don't like that. What the heck? I'm very proud of this and the work that I've been doing. So this is where you've been since the festival. Jeez. This is creepy, man. This is creepy as heck. I wonder what the purpose of this is. Chrono. Frog, you're safe. Robo, don't waste your time. So weird. Anyway, I might do some research into Matthew McConaughey too, and just kind of just to kind of think about, some wisdom or what that, I could possibly give, or I don't know, just take up from that, you know what I mean? Trying to think more in a way of if I could break this down in a simple, some simplicity type of a thing, how could I really boil it down, right? Welcome, Glenn. Just Sir Froggy. I've also been working to find my voice, you know what I mean? I've been trying to, all 100 of the beasts. Interesting. I've been trying to figure out where I'm comfortable at, like where whenever I'm talking do I guess I have the best conversation, like how do I so if you think about this, if you're trying to turn life into a formula, for example, like if you want to be happy, how can you make like a formula of happiness? This is from Tony Robbins, by the way, so I don't want to ever take credit for anything, but so this is coming from Tony Robbins. So Tony Robbins says, if I'm gonna make a formula for happiness, then I'm gonna take how I feel whenever I'm happy. Okay, so I'm gonna look at whenever I'm happy, and I'm gonna take note of what do my shoulders look like? How do I look physically? And then also how do I feel internally? How am I thinking? Like where is my mentality at? Right. And here's what I notice. Okay, just please play with this, please. So this is what I notice. Okay, I think these guys take magic. Here's what I notice. In conversation, so if I'm gonna have a good conversation, I make the formula of, whenever I'm having that good conversation, how do I feel? What do I look like physically? Everything. What is this? What is that about? And what I find in myself is that, I'm relaxed, I'm comfortable, like I feel like this, I feel good, and it's not so like one-sided, you know what I mean? But because like sometimes whenever I'm having a good time and I have a good conversation, I have like a lot of energy, and I'm very active and in my body I'm just going and going and going. But in this case, in situations like these, I'm actually more calm. Like whenever I'm just talking, I'm more relaxed, Damn, that sucks. So yeah. So it's just and actually sometimes whenever I have a good conversation on here, I'm also more energized. But I guess basically what I'm saying is like there's never a one way road, right? It's just never just like one right thing to do. So I guess it's another thing. So it's kind of like, what is your intent? Like, what do I want to do with this episode? You know what I mean? I guess with this episode, I'm more looking to be relaxed. Well, I actually took notes. I actually want to talk about that, but we might get to that next episode. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, just like right now, like, well, one, I'm feeling relaxed. So if I'm feeling relaxed, that's, if that's how I feel, like, then that's the conversation that I kind of want to have. You know what I mean? See, here's the other thing. It's more work to go against the natural energy that you have. You know what I mean? And I think it makes a lot more sense to go along with what was easy for you sometimes. So see, like I said, it's never black and white like this. Like, this isn't a rule for life, There's a rule for every single part of everything in existence, There's other ways that you can think about life, and part of that is well, I forgot what I said, but like in one situation, basically, like, that would work. You know what I mean? Oh, to go along with how you feel, like, so if I'm feeling relaxed, sometimes it's easier, in a situation like this, where this is a very relaxed kind of focus. Like, this podcast is more, it's just a conversation, you know what I mean? And so the purpose is much more, how do I say, milkier. Like, there's not one right way that I could go about this podcast. So that being said, I could take two routes. Like, the one thing that I want to do with this podcast is have a good time. So there's a few formulas for that. There's not just one way to have a good time. And I guess one of my formulas is having a good time is, well, I'm having a good time right now. Like, I'm enjoying just talking and relaxing. But if I felt energized, like I was making a point, then I would feel more, well, if I was trying to make a point, then I would be more, active and more on it, more attacking, more energy. You know what I mean? I would be more active in my approach. But since I had a plan for this episode, and this episode probably could have ended up being much more active episode, But I find that right now I'm just feeling more relaxed. So it's like, why would I fight with my natural feelings? If I feel relaxed right now, why would I argue with that? Why, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just going to go along with how I feel at this moment because that makes sense, Oh, this is so annoying. So not fair. He just committed suicide. He just committed suicide. What the heck? So yeah, but I mean, then the other part of that is, well, what if I did need to be more energized? That I want to do things. It's difference. Power is beautiful, and I've got the power. So the difference is, I'm gonna be more. Well, I'm gonna take the technique that I was talking about, like, if I want to feel good, then I'm gonna do X. I would take that, and then I would act on that. You know what I mean? Like, I would be more energized. I would use that formula to energize myself. But for now, it's like, I'm just gonna enjoy this feeling. You know what I mean? Because that's another thing that I've been realizing. Like, if life is about enjoyment, then I do think it's important to learn how to enjoy certain emotion and certain energy, and you know what I mean? That's just my take. for example, like just like learning how to enjoy life, you know, it's a difficult thing. But part of that is because we try to have life serve us, you know what I mean? But how about we just enjoy what life gives us, you know what I mean? Like, why, like, because life is going to do what life is going to do, you know? So there's no point in trying to go against that, you know, and just receive and accept. I don't know. That's what I've been working on lately, personally. Just like being able to just accept, you know, things where they are. And it's difficult because, you know, I heard this story where this lady pulls over, right? Okay, so this is so not fair. So this lady just pulls over, okay? And this is such BS. Like, so this lady just pulls over, and then all of a sudden, or not pulls over. So this lady is taking her daughter to the store. Oh, you little. All right. Relax. So this is to the store. And the daughter, this little girl, opens her car door, bumps into this guy's car. Okay, this is just like a little kid. Like, well, he's not little, but he was like 18, something like that. Anyway, he was young though. His car, it was like some type of like, I don't know, an expensive car though. So it's not like the car didn't have value, but there was like this small little bump, maybe. Like, it's hard to even know what it was, or if the problem was even theirs. But anyway, but the point I'm trying to make is, or like what I'm going for, and it doesn't matter, you know, what happened to the car, but the reaction of the boy was just ridiculously unacceptable. So he gets mad, right? He's very, very vicious. He's just yelling. He's just like, I've been screwed over way too many times, you know. Yeah, and I'm not gonna let this one slide. And then his girlfriend comes out, and his girlfriend is all, you know, high and mighty, being like, I need to get your ID. I need to get this XYZ. And it's just this mom with her daughter, and all the daughter did, 12 years old daughter, and all her daughter did was open the door onto the car. You know, an accident. And then here's where you start to realize, you know, what's really going on here. So, So what's really going on? What's really going on is that the boy, he starts talking about, you know, I go through way too much, you know, it's so inconvenient for me. I you know, this you know, just you know, doing the resentful victim story, you know, feeling like he deserves something for having to be taken out of his way, you know what I mean? But it just shows, you know, that, like, he had a nice car, he had a girlfriend with him, very beautiful girl, and he was talking about his shoes, like, he was like, it's snowing outside, and I have these shoes on, and you know, XYZ, you know. So it just makes you, I don't know, well, it's upsetting, you know. It's upsetting that the situation. Wait, something by 2. But and just the lack of empathy and understanding, and the guy had nice shoes on, so it was like, like what is your suffering? You know, what is your suffering? But even that situation, the mom remained understanding. Now it was hard, you know. She definitely wasn't like happy with him, and she wasn't gonna bend over for him. But you know, she remained patient with his suffering and tried to figure out or understand. You know, rather than victimize, or rather than play into his victimization. See, that's what she didn't do. She didn't play into the victimization theory of his self, but she did, you know, give him words of wisdom, like if you just forgave, you know, because he was going through a whole victimized story, like, oh, you have no idea what I go through. Basically, she said, if you just forgave whoever it is that's doing you wrong, if you just forgave them, you'd be so much more happier. And then she tried to ask him what his suffering is, and he said, that's my business, you know, that's all angrily, that's my business, you know. But why is it that you have to bring that out upon everybody else? You know, there's, I wouldn't say it's not important to express your emotions. Like, it's definitely important. But do you have to show that to the world? Because that's just crying out. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. But you know, what is the value of letting everyone know how much your life sucks, right? What kind of benefit does that give you? Are you expecting something out of it? You know, a hero to come save you? Like, it's a weird thing. But it's a common practice. Like, we like to share our suffering with the world, you know? And then we get into this whole debate, you know what I mean? I always cringe every time I hear someone in conversation, they do this thing. They'll go, like my little, I guess, for example, like, I used to complain about school, you know what I mean? And I would complain, I complained a lot to my, what was his name? He was my guitar teacher at the time, but I just complained, and then one day, I think he just got tired of it, you know, and he goes, you know, I don't feel bad for you. You know what I mean? Like, I have college, and then, you know, I was up late doing homework, and then I come to work, and it was in that moment I was like, oh shoot, you know. And I think I said something snarky, you know what I mean, on me. Like, I was just stuck in my victim corner. So it says something, but, you know, kind of embarrassing. You know, I just embarrassed myself. But nevertheless, like, no, he you know, he was coming from a place of like, oh, just like open your eyes past yourself. You know what I mean? Because that's kind of where I was. I was stuck thinking about myself, and my own struggles and pain and suffering, and I don't know, whatever excuses or, you know, things that I had to say, you know. And basically he was saying, like, you know, like, there's this too, like, you know, like, we're here too, you know what I mean? Like, it's not just a you. But, you know, but then there's those times whenever you'll be saying something, and then someone will go, well, at least you don't have this, you know, like, that's disgusting. At least you don't have this. Like, no, shut up. That's terrible. Like, at least you don't have this. Are we gonna battle who has the lesser life? You know what I mean? Whose life sucks more? Like, that's so disgusting. It's embarrassing. But whatever, it's like, I mean, everyone has their own struggles. This is one thing that I think I'm realizing right now. Like, everyone goes through life, you know what I mean? Everyone has to figure out for themselves, like, how am I supposed to be, Because whenever we're born, we have these huge egos, right? And we're always taken care of. I don't know if we have the ego because we're always taken care of, or maybe it comes from a place of, helplessness. I don't know. Lack of control. Maybe lack of control. Because I know that's one cause. The desire for control is one cause of like a lot of struggle and strive for a purpose. You know what I mean? Like a lot of like if you hear what's his name? Well, there's this practice. I'm trying to think of who taught me this. There's this practice called going 7 levels deep. This is good. Going 7 levels deep with no source perspective. And part of 7 levels deep is I guess what I think is a common thing that you discover is that you have this oh shoot, that's not how I should have did too. 7 levels of deep. Like I guess for example, like why am I doing this podcast? Well, one is something I enjoy, something that I choose to do, and so that feels good. But then at the same time, it's like it's not like it provides me benefit, but it's the hope in the future that someday, one day it will, right? So it's like one day I'm doing this now because I know that one day, whenever things are far better, far improved, and I have more time and more money and more energy, and well, I have a lot of energy right now, but whenever more time and more money and stuff like that, it's like this will be something that hopefully can grow, right? So it's like one day it's not gonna be this thing where I'm not making any money and I'm just doing it because I enjoy it. You know what I mean? It'll be something that I do because I enjoy it, and at the same time, it provides me some type of benefit of, survival, I guess, or it's like a long-term investment. I forgot my original point, but yeah, I don't know. I forgot what I was saying with that. But I don't know. I completely lost track of. That's another thing that I need to work on. I heard of Alpha Brain, which is what Joe Rogan's company is, or maybe it's his company. I'm not sure, but the Alpha Brain is this thing that you take it. I think it's like a pill, and it's supposed to help you think, like help increase your memory and your brain function. And I know blood, like exercise helps that for me. Like whenever I exercise, I do far better. With this type of stuff than whenever I don't exercise. So I don't know. But I don't know. This tea's so good. Falling in line with duty of Magus. No, I don't recall what this whole conversation. Ooh, is that a sword? Yes. That's cold. It's kind of eerie. Don't know what's going on here. Oh, that's the episode. Well, I guess this is a good place to stop than any other. Well, I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. I know I certainly did. Yeah, I mean, I had a good time. So I don't know what else to say. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want to support this podcast in some type of way, then you can go to my website at joshuatbryan.com, where there's a section where you can donate. And I think I'm gonna go heal up first. So yeah, there's a section there where you can donate to the podcast. Not required, but certainly appreciated. But then the other way that you can support, which I always say this, if you just simply, watching the podcast helps. If you want to share the podcast, that's incredible. Like that does, that's how it gets out, right? So, by watching the podcast, by sharing the podcast, those two things both help out a lot. See, the other way is well, I don't know. I mean, I appreciate it. I love doing this, and hopefully one day this will be able to fund something. So anyway, with that all being said, as soon as I beat this guy, I will check you guys next time. See ya.